everyone. Here's the end of chapter 17. Sorry it took a while. These are really long chapters. So the end of chapter 17 is starting off where they are at the market. And the last paragraph I read was, I'll tell you what, Teeth Man leaned in close. I'll trade you. You get your granny to give me some of those peas, and this tooth is yours. As Grandma and Jeannie were closing down their table, the last of the peas going to the Teeth Man, Tess appeared. Hi, y'all, she said, hopping up and seeing her setting down her can of earrings. Tess! Grandma squealed. How you doing, sweetie? Fine. Y'all need some help? She immediately began stacking the baskets. Thank you, darling, Grandma said. When they carried the baskets, the scale, and the sheet all to the car. God, my eyes. Sorry, guys. Grandma asked Tess, how did you get down here? Jeannie wondered if Grandma was worried about running into Crab. Not that Grandma would be worried, but Crab, on the other hand. My mama brought me, Tess said, passing the scale to Jeannie, and he put it in the back seat. Your mama? Grandma looked shocked, and then her face quaked. Sorry, I just mean, I know, Tess said, brushing it off. So, how did you get her to bring you? I had her Google hypochondriac, Tess said, raising her eyebrows at Jeannie. He couldn't hold in a smile. Oh, Grandma said, nodding. Right. So I basically had her look it up so that she knew what was really wrong with her. I told her yesterday, it's not glaucoma, Grandma. It's you. It's not glaucoma, Mama. It's you. Tess bounced up and down on her toes like a feather. She read about it for hours. Then this morning, she decided to take a step. I couldn't believe it. She drove me here and everything. Then she got a little freaked out by all the dirt and the dust and took off. Baby steps, said Grandma, knowingly. Exactly. Well, good for her. So how are you going to get home? Mr. Barnes was going to take me. You know Mr. Barnes. He sells the white socks. Grandma nodded. Yeah, I know her. Yeah, so I'm not going to hold you all up, Tess said, seeing that the car was packed. But could you give this to Ernie? She dug in her can and she pulled out a face mask. The kind that the doctors wear. The kind that Tessa's mom was wearing every time Ernie and Jeannie saw her. A certified mouth hider. Grandma smiled wide. Why don't you come here and give it to him? Why don't you come with us and give it to him yourself? Think about right now this book and how it kind of relates to us and the face masks, right? Okay, here we go. Tess squished into the back seat and Jeannie sat up front. He squeezed the Bruce Lee tooth into the palm of his hand, peeking at it every few minutes. He just couldn't believe it. Bruce Lee's tooth? He told Tess about it and he made her promise not to tell Ernie. He knew she was great at not snitching. He already had proven that with the whole dead bird thing, which Grandma and Grandpa still had no clue about, which reminded him he needed to check the trap. It could be like a good luck charm, Grandma agreed. When should I give it to him? Jeannie asked. That's up to you, son. You can give it to him right now, or you could save it for when he really might need it. Your call, Grandma replied. Jeannie thought about it. I'll wait and surprise him. Sounds good. I won't say a word. Jeannie was outside rubbing Samantha's belly like she was a baby when they bumped up the driveway. When he saw Tess, the look on his face made it seem like he wanted to make a run for it, but he didn't. Jeannie and Grandma made a swift move to the house, Jeannie heading straight upstairs to hide the tooth. He took a good look around before his eyes were on the flag on the dresser, next to the Purple Heart, next to the red truck, the half wheel, next to the bottle holding Ernie's chipped tooth. The flag was folded into a perfect triangle of white stars, just like the one on Grandpop's room, where Grandpop hid the gun well before he broke it apart. Along the side, the same pocket, as if it was perfect for Grandpop's revolver, Jeannie figured it would be even more perfect for Bruce Lee's tooth. He pushed the tooth right into the fold, perfectest. Then he ran back downstairs, zipped past Grandma, who sat at the kitchen table, with her feet in a bucket of steaming water. Standing too long caused them to swell, she complained, and she jetted outside. Sweet, was what Jeannie said, mimicking Grandma's voice, when Ernie asked him how the first solo trip to the market was. He and Tess were tossing the squeaky toy back and forth, just out of Samantha's reach, and she was running back and forth frantically. Tess laughed. Ernie was now wearing the mask that Tess brought him. It actually laughed, too. He looked like a total ninja. Let me guess, everyone came running, right? He asked. Yep, it was wild. Wait, Tess said. What's going on with, Eichel May, X and J, Erd Bay, Aptray? Really? Pig Latin? Jeannie said, zinging Tess. I mean, we're like 20 feet from the front door, she said, and she was right, even if Grandma was busy looking at her feet. Wait, well, are there new discoveries? None? Tess looked disappointed. Ernie was no more interested in Jeannie's trip to the market, the trip that he had refused to come on. So wait, was this crazy guy who sits at the table next to Grandma there, the one with the roller skates and all the weird teeth for sale? Ernie asked. Jeannie glanced at Tess and swallowed hard. Had to get the secret about Bruce Lee's tooth all the way down to the bottom of his stomach so that it wouldn't come out. Yeah, he was there. Such a cool dude. I think Grandma called him about checking out your mouth just to make sure everything was okay. What? Ernie shouted, whipping the toy at the ground. Samantha lunged. What's the big deal? He's nice. And he's going to do a checkup. Trust me, I have braces. It's not that big of a deal. No big deal. The dude is nuts. He sells teeth that are famous people's. Maybe some of them are famous people. Anyway, like Grandma said, they're good luck charms, Jeannie said, trying to calm him down. But Ernie's panicked look didn't go away. As a matter of fact, it got worse. I can't believe she's going to try to take me to that psycho. I'll probably have no teeth by the time I leave his office. He'll probably put them all for sale and say that they're Martin Luther King's or something. No way, she can't. Then he stormed out of the room. He stormed out of the house. Jeannie and Tess scrambled after him, and he slammed through the door, scaring Grandma, who kicked the bucket of water over. Damn it, she shouted, jumping up and grabbing a towel off the sink. What in blazes is going on? She used her foot to move toward the towel around, sopping up as much of the water as she could. The water was everywhere. I'm sorry, Grandma, Ernie said, crouching down to help. But Jeannie said you were going to take me to see that weirdo who sells the teeth at the market. Grandma just kept mopping up with a foot. Yeah, he's just going to check out the splint. It's really nice of him, she said, flat. Grandma told Tess to look at the sink for another towel. Nice of him, Grandma? He's crazy. What if he takes my teeth? Grandma fixed a look on Ernie. Then she took the towel from Tess, thanking her before laying back into Ernie. Listen, he ain't going to steal your teeth, boy. How do you know that? Ernie replied. I know this man, Ernie. He's no stranger. Besides, he's a dentist. Fixing teeth is his job. I don't want to go. The door to the inside-outside room swung open. Jeannie and Ernie froze. Grandpop came stepping out into the kitchen like a man risen from the dead. It had been days since he'd come into the kitchen while the sun was up. What's all the fuss out here? Grandpop demanded. Ernie glared at him and readjusted his mask. It was as if Grandpop opened the door and a cloud of awkwardness came out. Shame made the kitchen stink worse than greens. Nothing you need to worry about, Grandma said quick. The floor is wet, Brooke. I don't want you to slip, so maybe you should go back into your room. Ernie, what's the fuss? Grandpop pressed. Ernie just kept glaring. Okay, Grandpop, annoyed Jeannie. Jeannie had to say something. Ernie doesn't want to get his mouth looked at by the man and the market who sells the teeth. What? Jeannie, Ernie cried in a fury. Jeannie looked away. Grandpa sighed. Brooke, you know Dr. Banks down at the market. He told me that he'd look at Ernie's mouth. I trust his opinion. All the while, Ernie was just shaking his head. No, no, no. Grandpa bit down on his bottom lip like he was embarrassed. Guilty. But before he could respond, Ernie rushed back outside, the screen door slamming behind him. Motioning for Jeannie and Tess to go after him, Grandma picked both towels up off the floor, wrung them out angrily over the sink, twisting them like she was trying to strangle them. If the towel could be strangled, Grandpop's face seemed to crumple up as he stepped haltingly back into his inside-out room. He fumbled to find the doorknob, and then he closed the door behind him. Okay, so when you're done listening, think about what you're reading or what I've read, and you can always go back and rewind it and listen again, and then go into Schoology, please, and answer the questions. And then I'll be posting Chapter 18 over the weekend. Thanks, you guys. Bye.